Hello and welcome to Unbuilt Giants, a series that looks at the development and demise of some of history's most notable and sometimes bizarre skyscraper projects. Nakheel Tower was a proposed super-tall skyscraper in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, designed to be the tallest building in the world. Conceived by the state-owned developer Nakheel, the tower was envisioned as the centerpiece of the Nakheel Harbour and Tower Masterplan, a vast mixed-use development in the rapidly expanding New Dubai area. Originally intended to soar over 1 kilometre into the sky, the tower would have housed over 200 floors and accommodated more than 15,000 residents, workers and visitors in a self-contained vertical city. Designed by international architectural firm Woods Bagot and supported by leading structural engineers, the project represented the height of Dubai's pre-2008 ambition, blending advanced engineering, Islamic architectural motifs, and cutting-edge sustainability principles. Despite its striking design and groundbreaking structural innovations, Nakheel Tower was never built. Its fate sealed by the financial turmoil of the global economic crisis and the collapse of Dubai's property boom. The origins of Nakheel Tower can be traced back to 2003, during a period of intense architectural ambition and rapid development in Dubai. Initially conceived under the name The Pinnacle, the tower was intended to serve as the architectural crown of Palm Jumeirah, one of the world's most iconic man-made islands. Positioned at the heart of the island's central trunk, the original proposal envisioned a soaring residential skyscraper reaching an unprecedented height of 750 meters. This early version of the project was to consist of 120 floors of luxury apartments, rising from the center of a canal and surrounded by water, emphasizing its symbolic dominance over the surrounding landscape. The aim was to create not only a new benchmark in residential architecture, but also a signature icon of Dubai's emergence as a global city. However, this vision soon evolved. The plan for the Pinnacle was eventually shelved and replaced by a different venture, the Trump International Hotel and Tower, which took over the same central location on the Palm. As a result, the tower project was relocated to the Dubai waterfront, another ambitious urban expansion planned on reclaimed land along the Emirates coastline. Despite efforts to prepare the site, including extensive land reclamation and ground leveling, construction of the tower never commenced at this location. One of the main obstacles was the proximity of the site to Al Maktoum International Airport, which imposed height restrictions that ultimately made the location unsuitable for a skyscraper of such magnitude. By 2006, the project had re-emerged with greater ambition and a new direction. The tower's location was shifted once again, this time to a large plot near Jumeirah Lake Towers and Dubai Marina, both rapidly growing districts in the expanding urban fabric of the city. With the appointment of the internationally renowned architectural firm Woods Bagot, Nakheel reimagined the project as part of a much larger and more complex urban master plan, the Nakheel Harbour and Tower. This extensive scheme was to span more than 270 hectares and feature a vast array of interconnected components, including a harbour, a cultural and retail podium, residential zones, landscaped areas, and nearly 20 secondary towers, some rising as high as 90 stories. The tower itself, now central to this development, was no longer just a landmark, it was to become the defining vertical core of an entirely new city district. At the heart of the tower's revised design lay a visionary architectural concept inspired by the idea of a vertical city, a self-contained, multifunctional community rising into the sky. Influences from legendary modernist thinkers such as Le Corbusier, Frank Lloyd Wright, and Paolo Soleri helped shape this concept. The building would not follow the conventional skyscraper model of a single tapering core. Instead, it would consist of 4 interconnected shafts or cores, each with its own independent infrastructure and structural support. These cores would be arranged symmetrically around a central void and joined at regular intervals, every 25 floors, by full-diameter sky bridges. These sky bridges would serve both structural and communal functions, acting as sky lobbies and village-like gathering spaces suspended high in the air. The design was not only futuristic, but deeply rooted in regional cultural motifs. The geometric basis of the tower was derived from Islamic design principles, particularly the 16-pointed star and the concept of concentric circles radiating from a central point. These patterns informed both the architectural symbolism and the physical structure of the building. The strategic use of vertical voids between the cores allowed air to flow through the tower rather than around it, reducing wind loads and minimizing the phenomenon of vortex shedding. This innovative approach made it possible to maintain uniform floor plates across the height of the structure, rather than resorting to the typical tapering form used to mitigate wind pressure at extreme elevations. In July 2007, speculation around the building's final height intensified. Chris O'Donnell, Nakheel's CEO at the time, stated publicly that height isn't everything, which led to speculation that the tower might not surpass the Burj Khalifa, then still under construction. However, within just 1 week, Nakheel reaffirmed its intentions. The tower would indeed rise higher than 1 kilometer. Various estimates followed, ranging from 1,000 to 1,600 meters, and early architectural renders showed more than 200 stories. The final intended height was projected to exceed 1,400 meters, which would have made it the tallest man-made structure in history, surpassing the Burj Khalifa's 828 meters, and even outmatching the anticipated height of the Jeddah Tower in Saudi Arabia. The project reached its most public and ambitious phase in October 2008. With the Burj Khalifa nearing completion and drawing global attention, Nakheel unveiled the full vision of the Nakheel Harbour and Tower to the world. This announcement came at a time when Dubai was asserting itself as a centre of architectural innovation and financial confidence, aiming to surpass its own records in vertical construction. Nakheel Tower was not simply a building, but the centerpiece of an entire urban ecosystem. It was designed to integrate residential apartments, office space, a luxury 5-star hotel, sky-high public gardens, and observation decks into a single, mixed-use complex. The podium surrounding its base would host cultural institutions, retail environments, and community-focused amenities. In total, the development would accommodate over 15,000 people, functioning as a full-scale vertical city with sustainability and smart infrastructure built into its foundations. Structurally, the Nakheel Tower represented a leap in high-rise engineering. It relied on a sophisticated system of cast-in-place reinforced concrete, featuring 8 perimeter megacolumns arranged in a nearly 100-meter diameter circular footprint. These were anchored to a central cylindrical core, known as the drum wall, which functioned as the backbone of the tower's vertical load-bearing system. Extending outward from this core were hammer walls, which engaged the megacolumns at the perimeter, and fin walls, which offered additional support to the central area. These structural components were linked at regular vertical intervals by 4-story belt trusses made of structural steel, located at the levels where the sky bridges joined the 4 separate tower sections. These trusses provided not only lateral stiffness and load redistribution, but also created redundant load paths, a critical feature in tall building safety design. At each belt level, steel link walls connected the central drum walls, ensuring the tower behaved as a unified structural system rather than four isolated elements. At the summit, the building was crowned by 8 structural arches, each taller than the Eiffel Tower, converging toward a central spire. This upper section housed specialized functions and was stabilized using a network of steel outriggers and trusses. The floor system employed a lightweight composite steel construction, concrete on metal decking supported by steel beams, chosen for both speed of erection and reduction of self-weight. This was essential in a structure where almost half of the vertical load-bearing capacity had to accommodate the building's own mass. The external envelope was equally advanced, utilizing curtain wall panels and titanium cladding designed for modular repetition to expedite construction. These elements were engineered for durability in the extreme Middle Eastern climate, incorporating nanotechnology-infused glazing to maximize light transmission while minimizing solar gain and thermal stress. Titanium, selected for its resistance to corrosion and heat, was entirely recyclable, as were all its supporting components. Environmental performance was central to the tower's design philosophy. The building was intended to achieve LEED Gold certification and featured a comprehensive suite of sustainability measures. These included solar panels, wind turbines, stormwater harvesting systems, black water treatment, and the reuse of water from fire suppression tests. High-voltage power distribution, energy-efficient servicing systems, and passive design strategies aimed to reduce the carbon footprint of this immense structure, positioning it as a model of sustainable urban development. However, by January 2009, the Nakheel Tower project was officially placed on hold, a direct consequence of the severe financial pressures triggered by the global economic downturn known as the Great Recession. The international credit crisis had a particularly acute impact on Dubai's real estate sector, which until then had been characterized by rapid expansion, speculative investment, and a heavy reliance on foreign capital. Nakheel, the state-owned developer behind the tower, was especially vulnerable. The company's ambitious portfolio, which included massive infrastructure and luxury developments such as the Palm Islands, left it highly exposed when liquidity dried up and investor confidence waned. Later that same year, the financial situation deteriorated further with the onset of the Dubai World debt crisis. Dubai World, Nakheel's parent company and one of Dubai's largest government-owned conglomerates, announced in November 2009 that it would seek to delay repayment on approximately $26 billion in debt. This shock announcement sent ripples through global markets and severely undermined investor confidence in Dubai's financial stability. Nakheel, already struggling, was among the hardest-hit subsidiaries. With financing options evaporating and economic uncertainty mounting, the towering vision of Nakheel Tower became untenable. By December 2009, the project was officially cancelled. Although preliminary work such as ground leveling and land reclamation had commenced on the proposed site, full-scale construction never began. The sheer magnitude of the project, originally planned to rise over 1 kilometer in height with more than 200 floors, demanded an immense financial commitment and a long construction timeline stretching over a decade. In the volatile post-crisis environment, such a prolonged return on investment proved unworkable. The project's cancellation was not due to any failure of engineering or architectural imagination, but rather the harsh economic reality that super-tall towers, while symbolically powerful, are often commercially unsustainable. Industry experts pointed out that the true challenge of constructing ultra-tall buildings lies not in their structural feasibility, but in the prolonged development period, high construction costs, and the resulting delay in revenue generation. In the years that followed, Nakheel Tower occasionally resurfaced in public discourse, sometimes through vague statements or revised master plans hinting at possible revival. Yet, none of these gestures materialized into concrete action. The tower remained indefinitely shelved, its legacy confined to architectural renderings, scale models, and conceptual discussions. Today, Nakheel Tower serves as a powerful reminder of an era marked by unbridled ambition and rapid urban expansion. It symbolizes both the bold aspirations of pre-2008 Dubai, which sought to redefine the limits of urban development, and the sobering financial constraints that followed, which brought many such dreams to an abrupt halt. The Unbuilt Tower now exists more as a cautionary tale of speculative excess than as a monument to engineering prowess. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more episodes coming soon. See you next time.